swing from a couple of years ago. The transfer from Louisiana, 23 wins on the season, and stories for Tennessee, Texas, and Oregon are here. They have come many times. They have come up short. Gabby Leach leading things off, the starting right fielder. And in for a strike from Sam Landry.
And watch that side of the plate. You're going to see these Tennessee batters. The lefties are going to kind of crowd with the front foot. Gabby Leach will kind of step towards that line, looking for middle away. This is part of the approach. They faced Jordy Ball last weekend. A lot of arm side, meaning away to these lefties. Watch Gabby Leach come across the plate. She actually got called out of the box last weekend. That's how much she'll come across. Beautiful job on a pitch middle away. What she was hunting, and she got it.
So with one on, here is Taylor Pannell. Phenomenal during the regular season, winning All-American honors. And now has to rediscover that swing in the postseason. Just a couple of hits in the NCAA tournament. One of the big offseason moves at Tennessee. Patty Gasso not enthused with the start. 9th pass ball of the year for Emmerling. And again, every coach that comes here tells you so important to jump in front, get the early lead, get your confidence up. Pitch missed away.
When you can see the defense is going to be in. Gabby Garcia, the shortstop, well in. And Bayani at second base as well.
One of the things that Craig Snyder was telling us yesterday, what great preparation it was to see Jordy Ball last week to get ready for Sam Landry this week. Former head coach himself, longtime assistant with Lonnie Alameda at Florida State.
So we had them in Knoxville last week, and when I was asking Craig about the approach for Tennessee against, at the time, Jordy Ball, Nebraska, and he said, we went back and watched film on Sam Landry. They are so similar in the side of the plate that they hit, and now here they are facing Sam Landry.
Landry giving up that 0-2 double to Pannell. That was really the big bat they needed to get started. And you can see the percentage drop ball, a little bit more for Landry, but the same primary pitches, drop, change, rise.
Tested as well this season, 11-4 against ranked opponents.
And Landry comes inside. This is the pitch, because I'll tell you what, Tennessee is prepared for just the opposite. We talked about it on the hit to Leach, and now she comes back. Instead of staying away, she came back in.
Here is Sophia Nugent. Takes a look at strike one out of Seal Beach, California. 3 home runs, 8 runs batted in so far in the NCAA tournament. And a called strike 2. Susan Eads behind the plate. John Baca, Chris Neighbors, Chad Steers on the bases today.
And this is where Landry is very unique. This is a curveball coming into lefties. Will be away from right. Look at her arm. Look how far away her arm is from her body. So she's getting around that hip, that rotation on that ball. That is a very unique and different look. You do not see that. Most times the arm is brushing the thigh or the quad. She's a good 5 inches or more away from her body.
Well, Nugent loves it against her former teammates. And Jen Rocha, the pitching coach, out to talk with Landry. Let's go down to Holly Rowe.
Well, Michelle, you talked about that unique arm angle of Sam Landry, and she told us yesterday that that is something she's tried to change through the years. It's her arm slot, and she said that's just where it feels the most comfortable, coming around my hip like that. When she got to Oklahoma, they tried to change some of her mechanics, make her a little bit more square to the plate, but she said, I just naturally go back to that arm slot. That seems to be what works best for her.
Yeah, and Holly, it is unique. You don't see it much as a hitter, so where you're usually looking, the ball's not coming from. So, you know, actually, I think it many times works to her advantage.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
Tennessee looks to be ready for it. Here is Boo Gibson. Senior out of Southern California. 3 for 13 with a home run so far in the postseason. 4-year starter at Tennessee. And her second trip here to Oklahoma City. They were here a couple of years ago. McKenna, her given name, but I had to look it up on the roster as being calling her Boo for 4 years. There's the 1-1.
Any Monsters, Inc. fans? Yes. With the baby Boo from that movie. That's what her mom used to call her when she was little. Looked very similar to
Very.
the moon, that
Yes.
Pixar movie.
Takes a strike there, 2-2. So the Sooners in the opening frame, first 5 games, only 1 hit allowed. 2 here in the first for Tennessee. Sooners rolled through the regionals untested. Then they swept a couple from Alabama in the Supers. Back here at the World Series for the 9th year in a row. The last 5, they have been to the finals.
That's a good take by Boo Gibson. Back-to-back changeups hard into the hands that she fouls off, and then a rise ball she takes, does not bite.
Good eye from the... Taking that off the bounce. But a couple runs across quickly for Tennessee. Tennessee jumping in front of Oklahoma. Sooners picking up the bats as we look at our starting lineups. Brought to you by Capital One. And for the 8-time champs, Pickering, Parker, and Sanders highlighted. They are the lone returnees in the starting lineup from their title team a year ago. The roster turnover having to replace what Patty Gasso says is the best senior class she's ever coached, certainly the most successful in the history of the sport. And yet here they are right back knocking on the door at the World Series. And they will face Carlin Pickens, the junior out of Weaverville, North Carolina. Yesterday named a first-team All-American and has won the last 2 SEC Pitcher of the Year awards.
She is dominant in the circle, a 1.0 ERA, a whip even below 1. It's tough to get on against Carlin Pickens.
She got better with each game in the Super Regional. 3 straight days head-to-head against Nebraska and Jordy Ball. And I'm sure you've heard of the velocity there at 76. She's topped out at 78 and then broke that record last weekend with a 79-mile-an-hour pitch. And here is Cassidy Pickering to start things off. Another first-team All-American. lights out so far in the postseason, hitting .500. And she was 7 for 8 against Tennessee in their regular season series. I mean, their OPSs are ridiculous.
Yeah. And that's for the season. I mean, usually you see that for like 2 weeks.
A series, maybe?
Yes.
The average, by the way, I think is 826. So hers is 1422. She's one of 3 players with an OPS of over 1,200 in this lineup.
They're playing her to pull. Third base, Taylor Panel is playing the shortstop position. They are way shifted over. There's a ton of room down that line.
A ton of room down that line. You can see it.
Pickering almost went that way.
Well, it's hard not to notice. You're up to bat, and then you start to think, okay, are they going to come in on me? They went away there.
Well, and you expect her to be late and actually spray to the left side, so I'm surprised they're actually that far off the line.
I mean, that is a huge gap.
She does pull it, and well positioned is Gabby Leach out and right. One down, and here comes Ella Parker, another first-team All-American, getting some info from Pickering as she heads back to the dugout. Has really hit well in the second half of the season, dealing with a foot injury that's been lingering all year long, and she's just playing through the pain. And that right foot.
A lot of it is pain management, just taking care of it as much as you can.
Wow, get in her kitchen. And Ella Parker, you guys, she's got quick hands. We've talked about the velocity from Carlin Pickens, so that was 76 inside.
Yeah, inside.
Parker was late.
That makes that feel like 80 inside.
Yeah, when it's
low and away.
in on the hands. And Parker, she's talking about how hot of a bat. She's 0 for 6 against Pickens. Remember, Pickens beat Oklahoma twice this year.
Back-to-back change-ups. They're not that, they're 66 miles an hour, so it's hard to call them change-ups, but they're still really fast.
Yeah, I feel like we can't. The 2-strike home run from Parker.
That's just the 7th home run of the year that Pickens has given up.
That's a big subplot, right? I mean, Oklahoma's the second best home run hitting team in the country, and Pickens, it's rare that you take her deep. Here's Nellie Mack, the redshirt freshman from Hawaii, who sat out last year due to injury, but has been so impactful that she wears the captain's C on her chest this year. They have had youngsters, they have had transfers. Step right in to fill big holes, big shoes. And as they were talking in the studio pregame, it's been a joy for Patty Gasso with all the coaching that they've required. And to watch this team grow as Pickens gets the strikeout, 2 down. And that'll bring up Gabby Garcia, and an early buzz around Devon Park with a couple of Tennessee runs and a Parker home run here in the first.
Well, it's power versus power, right? And when you're trying to hit that power, you just got to get that barrel to the ball, and Pickens is supplying everything that you need for that ball to leave the yard.
Garcia out to center. Kenzie Fiedler is there side retired. Sooners get one back in a big way and one big swing.
Talked about Ella Parker just the last month of the season.
She is the latest in a line of big name transfer pitchers that come here to try and win a national championship. Like Kelly Maxwell last year, G. Juarez a few years back, Paige Lowry.
And I wouldn't say she's reinvented herself, but she's absolutely made some great adjustments with Jen Rocha, the pitching coach at Oklahoma.
6, 7, 8 here for Tennessee. This is Laura Mueller.
Patty Gasso calls Jen Rocha the best pitching coach in the country, and she has really been able to work with a lot of these athletes that come in. So look at her, she calls the pitches.
Landry hasn't really gotten settled in. This is a changeup left up in the zone, not the location she wants that pitch. She wants it down below the knees, and Mueller takes advantage. In fact, she gets around that pitch. Another hit for Tennessee. That's the third.
Here's Kinsey Fiedler, the transfer from Washington. Played with the Huskies at the World Series a couple of years ago, and now here with Tennessee. Karen Weekly says she provides the swag and the confidence in this lineup. Those are good things to have when you want to be a coach one day. Kinsey said, let everybody know out there, I'm looking for a good job after I graduate this year. So there you go. Call Fiedler.
Love it.
She'll step out after the swing and miss.
Aggressive on a 2-0 count. I like that. You get something that you're hunting, put a big cut on it.
Two and two.
And this was the pitch you're going to see a lot of from Landry. She's going to throw that 70-mile-an-hour down pitch, and then she's going to come back at 55 miles an hour. A lot of effective velocity used on both sides of the ball for this Oklahoma program.
From 55 miles an hour up to 71. 30th pitch of the day coming, and it's 3 and 2. Stay foul.
So Landry typically will throw that changeup about 24% of the time. It's going to be well above that in this game.
Waits on the 3-2 pitch. Caught it second, diving back in safely is Mueller. One down.
A lot of hard contact with 2 strikes. And that's what we're seeing last inning. 2 of the big hits came with 2 strikes. That's an out. And another changeup, it hit hard.
Here's Emma Clark, the DP, in the 8th spot in the lineup. Freshman out of Cleveland, North Carolina.
Guys, this is also advantage hitters when it's SEC on SEC. I mean, They have played, they're very familiar with each other. They understand exactly what they're going to face, and these very elite pitchers, but multiple at-bats.
Well, you hear coaches all the time, you know, you want to play a tough schedule to get your team prepared. Karen Weekly this year, they have played 5 of the 7 other teams that are here at the World Series. So they've seen these arms. Of course, everybody else has seen Pickens too.
That's where you have to be creative. It's not being predictable. I mean, you're going to go back, and as a hitter, I want to know exactly how you threw me. How'd you get me out? Now I'm going to have a plan against that. Andrew trying to mix speeds, frustrated with that last call. She thought that was a strike. Looked like it got the corner in the inside part of the plate. Instead, it's 3-0.
That one's at the knees for a strike. 3-1. And 2 in scoring position for Tennessee for the 2nd inning in a row.
Emma Clark taking a pitch that's middle, 3-1 count, right at the knees, goes down and elevates this pitch into the gap. I thought this was a huge opportunity for Tennessee to get another run in. Once it gets to the wall, I thought Mealer would come around, playing it safe. They kept her at third.
Yeah, I thought that they were going to be sending Mealer all the way from first as well. Gets all the way to the opposite gap.
So 2 in scoring position for the 9-hitter Savia Morgan. And Karen again putting the stop sign on.
Mealer was ready though.
Yeah. And Rocha will come out to talk to Landry, and this is a big moment for Savia Morgan. So in the supers, there was an error committed by Morgan, the starting left fielder, and they brought her in off the bench the last 2 games of the super. And so now Karen inserting her back into the starting lineup. As we've talked about, this is a whole new ball game, brand new day when you get to the World Series, and she has a big moment right here at the plate for Tennessee to pay back her coach for the confidence to put her back in there today.
Well, it is all about being able to bounce back, whether or not you're a pitcher, a fielder, a hitter. And the opportunity is in front of you. You got to snatch it.
How do you rebound?
Defense for Oklahoma is going to be pulled well in.
Morgan's going to crowd that plate. Her toes are on that line, trying to take away the inner half.
Cannot have any part of your big toe, your pinky toe, nothing outside the chalk when you make contact.
That's part of the plan last week against Jordy Ball. Hunt a certain part of the plate. Very clear what Morgan is hunting here.
To the right side, Sanders coming home, and they've got Mealer in a pickle. Nellie Mack, the throw to the plate, and the tag is applied by Sanders for the 2nd out of the inning.
There's actually nobody hurt on this play because both runners end up getting in the scoring position again because she was able to stay, Mealer was able to stay in a pickle. She was able to allow the runners to advance, get back into 2nd and 3rd. They would have gotten it out anyway at first base, but they're putting the pressure on Oklahoma's defense. Mealer staying in that pickle allows runners to get to 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, and that's a well-run pickle and run down by Oklahoma's defense where they followed their throw, and Sid Sanders was in the right spot at home to be able to make that tag.
Infield defense can go back to regular depth. Gabby Leach in the top of the order. She singled and scored in the 1st. Andrew just missed away. Pitch count climbing. 2 earned runs allowed in her first 4 appearances, 2 today. Still up a run on opening day at OKC. It's time to play You Be the Third Base Coach. Michelle Smith, to send or not to send?
Yeah, I think in this situation, I would have sent Mueller coming all the way around from first base. Now, it's an outstanding relay. Agbayani, though, has the ball here, and she is a third of the way down the baseline. This is the World Series. You've got to push it. You have to have pedal to the metal. I think that you have to force Oklahoma's hand and make them make that throw perfectly to home plate. There's defensive obstruction, and so there's all sorts of things that could pop up. You've got to keep putting runs up on the board against Oklahoma.
They would have had to make a perfect play. And they could have.
And they could have.
But you push it. I mean.
Yep.
And that was with one out, so you weren't out of the inning.
The other aspect
Even
of that is that you had your number 9 hitter coming up. You had not, so I'm probably sending her in that situation.
The 2 at-bats after that, Oklahoma got outs and got out of the inning. Still trailing 2-1. 5, 6, and 7 for the Sooners. Early fireworks in our second game of the day. Night session will be a fun one as well. First timers Texas Tech and Ole Miss at 7 o'clock. And then Oregon UCLA in the nightcap. Those games over on ESPN2. Winner of this one will play Texas Saturday afternoon. The loser has Florida tomorrow night. Win or go home. Beth Mullins, Jessica Mendoza, Michelle Smith, Holly Rowe with you. Sydney Barker has come on of late. The freshman from Rockland, California, in the starting lineup in May, playing first base in the outfield, now on a 7-game hitting streak. That included a 2-homer game in the SEC tournament in that spectacular comeback to rally to beat Arkansas.
And she was a hitter off the bench. You'd see her come in, pinch hit. And Sydney Sanders got hurt, so she got some opportunities to start, play first base, and her bat was red hot. So Patty's like, I got to figure out a way to keep her in this lineup. She was their 3-hole hitter last weekend.
Did she go? She did not.
And that's the changeup again, the off-speed pitch, the pitch in the low 60s, mid-60s. That's the pitch, though, that Pickens needs to land. Right now, it's a little non-competitive, and I'm sure that's why Sophia Nugent is coming out and talking a little bit about trying to get that pitch a little bit.
Why can't you just live at 78, 79 miles an hour? I mean, as a hitter.
Ella Parker, take that at bat. I mean, you might get it by certain hitters a few times, but I'll tell you what, I want to face velocity because you just get the barrel there and it's going somewhere. You need the off speed to go with it.
Down the line, foul. This Oklahoma offense, 5th in the country in scoring, 2nd to Ohio State in home runs, with 6 different double-digit home run hitters. And here's the other thing, more walks than strikeouts on the season.
Way more. Yeah.
Under the direction of their hitting coach, JT Gasso, Patty's eldest son. It's a whole new analytical